Okay, day after Sobayatra, you know. It's a pretty intense Sobayatras. Okay, here we are. Got one pot here, heating up like mad. Got one pot here with water in it, heating it up. And kids, don't try this. I shouldn't even try it at my age. But you can go through everything. John Ellis, the John Ellis water purifier in the United States, he was top man in steam. He knew how steam worked and everything. He knew how you could get less electricity having to be used to even use a refrigerator. If you could get the water into a state where it had more hydrogen. Yeah, when you get the water into a state that has more hydrogen, it is very good and economical, even for those trucks that have refrigeration and everything. Why? Because it's less resistance, it works better, it's lighter, and that's what happens in your body. So H3O, we're going to make some H3O, and also this helps. The water doesn't like to go straight lines. So all your pipes just ruins the water. It doesn't like it. It doesn't want to be pushed into a straight line. It always wants to go into concentric circles, around and around and around. So you'll see, just by heating this up, by itself, it'll start going. And it may show me different, but matter of fact, today's 19th, Codicy. And I'm trying this on the Codicy at my age. Okay, the water should go in a clockwise way. And if I was down in Brazil or South America, it would go counterclockwise. Water is fantastic. Okay, here we go. This is just a little bit. I just put it in there, and there it is. It's going in a clockwise. Come on, you guys. Don't give me a trouble. Yeah. Anyways, I don't have to be right on that one. That you won't see water boil like that, because what it's doing is changing into H3O. Even that little bit right there is enough, but I'll try to get more, and a little bit more. And once it starts that's just regular boiling. Yes, very dangerous, kids. Don't try it. Don't try it. Yeah, you'll get burnt. Anyways, what kid would want to do something like that in mother's kitchen? So now you just add. As a matter of fact, this water right here is so good that I throw it into where I keep my water, and that reconstructs that water. Yeah. So anybody that comes to the kitchen, they got reconstructed water. Not reconstructed, but it goes back to its normal position. Let's turn it off. Yeah. Somebody can, it's probably easy as hell to prove me wrong, but I'm not going to go along with it. Especially when John Ellis makes his water purifier, and all he does is like put the water dripping through a negative positive field, and this heating is heating up and everything and making the H3O is a journal published by Dr. Satya here in India. So I owe all my, teeny bit hot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now just I don't like to make my concho Yeah, Panchajanya Namostute. Tavandanena Jimuta Nira Santi Sura Sura Shashanka 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 Namostute. Garba Deva Lilalilam Nilayantre Sahasrade Pattale Panchajanya Namostute. Twampura Sagrato Vishnuna Harita Manita Sarvasya Panchajanya Namostute. Panchajanya. Jai Panchajanya. Okay, so now, right here, we got a, what they call it is a right-hand conch, right? Right-hand conch, yeah, it's a right-hand conch. And it'll, again, make the water flow in a clockwise direction. Just do it slowly here. My plastic. I haven't found a steel funnel, but right here I don't want any steel. They had brass funnel, I'd buy it right away, because steel would change the charge. Many people can't understand that. You know, we are EMF. We are EMF. From the tip of my toe up to the top of my head, I'm an EMF product. And my fingernails and toenails are the concentration of that electricity. And my teeth are the concentration of that energy. When you start understanding this, how Krishna made this, and you start like, well, I got a machine. Yeah, the soul is not the machine, but the soul sits in a machine and it has to be electrically balanced. Oh, no kidding. In other words, you got to touch the earth. Somehow or other, you got to touch the earth. Yeah. Your body isn't electrically balanced. You don't touch the earth. You're not going to get the right frequencies. I saw that the different organs in the body have different frequencies. I didn't understand that so much. And the chakras, starting from the tail end all the way up to the head, are actually the light spectrum. Yeah, the light spectrum is in the chakras. In other words, it's going from infrared to ultraviolet. It's going from what we can't see and what we don't touch all the way up until the other side where we can't see and we can't touch. Ultraviolet. Yeah, we can't see that. So we are a spectrum. My eyes are a spectrum, and my eyes are limited to the spectrum of the chakras. Yeah, the chakras limit the spectrum. So that would come into effect with every living entity. You know, if you start understanding, you know, my Lord, I'm a total electric plant. Yeah, a total electric plant. And if you don't treat it like that, you don't treat it like that, then you're going to miss out. Pain is electric. Pain is electric. Pain is actually just the somebody has or something has stopped the flow of air. So what happened? Could you please tell me what happens when air moves? If you stop the flow of air, then that one place accumulates something that it shouldn't, right? That would be the logic, right? Wouldn't that be the logic of pain? Right? So the air, when it's moving in concentric circles, just like water wants to do, air wants to do also. Oh, it looks like it's natural. So then when it wants to move in its concentric circles, and all of a sudden you stop it, air moving causes lightning. Yes, that is the production of fire. Air moving causes fire, lightning, and such things. There's an electrical charge again, you know. So the air not moving is actually an electrical charge, and it gives you pain. Pain that you sometimes can't even stand. So the movement of nature is inevitable. You can't make nature stop. It's inevitable. But in its movement, we can identify, electricity in some way or other. Now, I didn't know Tesla was so much against EMF. But if you, he said direct electricity is like not useful, and alternating electricity is very useful. But that's again, electricity also wants to go in concentric circles. Up, down, up, down. That's alternating current. So when he invented his machine, actually he saw, this guy had such vision, he saw the machine depicted in the ground, and he took that and made his machine. Yeah. It's pretty, Tesla is something else. So also Tesla is showing us that, okay, water has to go in concentric circles because it's got electricity, and also after water, fire has to go into, and tornadoes go into concentric circles, and hurricanes, and, so we are electricity. We are charges of electricity. Water that just sits somewhere is dead. Dead water. So you have to be like moving it. Somehow or other, move your water. Whatever. Yeah. You can, and there's so many ways to do these kind of things. It's not limited to one little way that I'm doing. It's just have to understand it's good for your health. It's really good for your health. Not just a little good for your health. It's really good for your health. And here I am in the Codicy, looking at everything to see what I can eat to keep my concentric circles going around in my stomach. Because that's what also happens, If you look at the stomach, it's not sitting like, everybody drinks water and they think it's just going to fall into their tummy, right? Doesn't do that. If you look in, whenever they do these scopes going down somebody's esophagus, all of a sudden you can see that all along that esophagus, all the way down, there's muscles, and anything that's in there, they try to move it. They give it a pressure. They give it a pressure and move it, pressure and move it, pressure and move it. And it's done in a very rhythmic way, So again, here it is energizing my food. If you didn't chew it good enough and everything, then your esophagus at least gives it some energy by moving it down your throat. Right down, all the way to your tummy. And the entrance to the stomach is not straight down, It is at an angle. Your heart doesn't sit straight. We are not some straight lines. Yeah, we as nature are not straight lines. We are rebellious, unstraight lines. Yeah, rebellious. You could say rebellious, unstraight lines. We don't want to be in a straight line. I'm not joking. Certainly not joking. Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, we are very rebellious. And the more rebellious we are, the better health we have. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Okay. There they are. They were out. We got back. I sat down finally after 10. So that took from 3 until 10, you know. And of course, you know, before that we had to put everything together, so it's more than just 7 hours of an intense trying to do something. And I mean, really trying to do something. The Baal, he behaved himself this time. And the deities, they were really nice. When we were going through what is known as the Bunka Bihari area, you know, that's like the high, sophisticated area where all the, you know, people that have big businesses, you know, deity business. But one of the, I got to make sure that I make friends with people all down that line. So one of the Mukut Wallas, the guys that make the, you know, decorations for deities, he got up off of his chair in his office, you know, and he, you know, went around the bench and everything, made all the effort just to come out and to see that Mukut right there. And he was just like praising it like anything. I thought it was too much. But everybody loved that. And I'm sorry, Krishna, I'm back to the forest person. And of course, Radharani, I don't want to leave you out. It isn't as big as his, you know. Yeah, it's not as big as his, but everybody was amazed. Yeah. Yeah, they were a big hit. Now, and we'll just leave the same Mukuts on for Radhastami. Although Bunka Bihari is considered like, oh, Vrindavan Bunka Bihari. No, Bunka Bihari began 1845. He finally got a shelter, you know. They started building a temple. He was here before 1845 because Haridas was taking care of him. But he wasn't really known or seen or anything like that until 1845 when he got his temple. Whereas the Radha Vallabha temple, who Sri Hari Vamsh was in charge of, that temple began 500 years ago. So on Radhastami, there was always a fight. Who goes first? So the English were in control, and in Mathura they said, who's the oldest? And everybody had to admit that Radha Vallabha temple was the oldest temple. And the Bunka Bihari temple was a newer temple. So they said, well, the first part of the parade has to start with Radha Vallabha. So that's how it's going to work out on Radhastami. That should be on the first. You know, there's always these divisions about what date's what date, but that's 1st of September. Before I go, you know, just to put this nice video, and it makes me feel so good and everything. But, you know, it's 100 rupees doing it this way. No less than 100 rupees. So that's you know, that really adds up a lot when you haven't got it. But it's the only service I can do to Prabhupada and the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Oh, they made me feel so good last night. Oh yeah, and we got the one society. I did a whole big thing with them, took my deities out, and they said, oh, we will pay for this. And that was about a month and a half ago, and not even that has come true. So you know, sometimes a little difficult to keep on doing things. Yeah. And that's only 2,000 rupees, you know. So anyways, it becomes a little difficult when there's no, you know, nobody coming in with anything. Yeah, okay, Lord Nrsingadev. You should have gone, but you don't have a rot. I got a rot, but it broke. And I used to take 2 rots out, you know, and 1 rot with small for, you know, other deity. So I was taking out 3 at a time. But now it's down just 1. Yeah, okay, Prahlad, Radharani. I take that Radharani out for Radhastami, and the people are waiting because she'll come out, and then the store owners, because on Radhastami the store owner and their families and everything sit in their store, and they'll come out and they'll take the Radharani away. I'm not kidding. And I can't be jumping off the Bail Gadi, so I just let them take it. Then they take it inside, and some of the persons, they give a little jewelry to them, and then bring it back out. You know, after I have to yell at them too. No, it's fun, Radhastami is fun. Okay, I better stop right here. It's going overtime.